Hello from Freedomtax Accounting. We hope everyone is staying safe. We are an accounting firm here in Florida. We are making a series of videos to help small business owners get the most current information on SBA loans, PPP programs, and any kind of help in this financial situation that your business is going through in this coronavirus pandemic. Today we're going to talk about the PPP Flexibility Act of 2020. This was a law that was signed by the President last Friday. Today is June 8th. It's very important, and I also stress a lot the dates I record the videos because these programs are changing constantly. And whatever we talk about today may change tomorrow. So it's very important that you subscribe to our YouTube channel because whatever change are made to these programs, we always update it with new videos. Okay. Now, today is June 8th. For those of you that have been following this PPP loan programs, know that for the last couple of weeks, there has been changes that have been proposed in the House and the Senate, but finally last Friday it has become a law since the President signed it into law. So now these changes are official. So for those of you who have still not applied for PPP loans, funds still are available depending on the source. You get that there are 80 to 120 billion dollars still left in the program. Remember that now because of the Flexibility Act, the program has been extended until December 31st, or if the funding runs out. We've done in the last couple of weeks, I can say, over 400 PPP loan applications for businesses that have called us for help or our own accounting clients. And at the beginning, yes, it was tough to get the funds, but recently we have seen that the applications we send in, we're seeing 75 to 80% of them are getting approved, and they're getting approved fairly quickly. So if you still haven't applied for the PPP loan program, funds are available. And if you've tried to apply and you haven't received funding, know that there are also local funding available through the CARES Act. This is something most business owners are not aware of. The CARES Act did provide funding to local counties, and the local counties are able to use those funds to give out grants to small businesses. Now, not every county have these grants available. If you want to check if your county has these grants available for your business, just Google your county, your state, and CARES Act grant, and the Google search should give you a result if your county has these programs available. For example, in our case, we will put Orange County, Florida, CARES Act grant, and it will take us to the page where we can send in the application. Each county has its own rules, its own requirements, but check out if you can apply for more funding because we know that every little bit can help. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual law that was signed last Friday. This is it. It's a very short document. I am going to put a link in the description of this video so you can see the act for yourself. Very important that this is an amendment to the CARES Act. So this is not a new separate act. This is just making amendments to the original CARES Act, especially to the part that talks about the PPP program. Once again, it's a very short document. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video so you can take a look at it for yourself. But here are the major changes. Basically, they've changed the PPP loan from a 2-year loan to a minimum 5-year loan. So a lot of people are interpreting this as if it may be longer than 5 years, but it's still a good change to whatever loan amount that is not forgiven. Now you're going to have a minimum of 5 years to pay back. And the good thing is they haven't changed the 1% interest. So a 5-year 1% interest commercial loan is a very good deal. Also, the 8-week covered period, they've changed it to 24 weeks. That's a big help, especially we have a lot of hotels, restaurants that there are clients and they have not been able to open due to different circumstances, and they receive the funds, but they have not been able to open. So now, since they're trying to open more and more restaurants and hotels, now they have more time to use the funds and will be eligible for forgiveness. This helps a lot, and I put this tip here because one of the questions we get the most from business owners is that, okay, I got the PPP loan, but can I give myself a raise, or can I give my employees a raise so I can use most of the funds for payroll? Now, according to the rules, the employee owner cannot give himself or themselves a raise. The owners must pay themselves the same amount of payroll as you paid yourself in 2019. But you can give your employees, your other employees, raises and bonuses as well. Now, this was a strategy that a lot of business owners were implementing in order to use the total amount of PPP funds in 8 weeks. But now you really don't have to give more bonuses, because remember, you got PPP funds based on 8 weeks, on 2.5 months of payroll. But now the same amount of funds, you can use it in 24 weeks. So technically, if you keep your employees on the same amount of payroll, you have 24 weeks to use the funds. So most probably, you can get away with 100% forgiveness just in payroll, because you have 24 weeks to use the funds. And if you use them entirely in payroll, it can be 100% forgiven. Okay? Now, another change is that according to the original to the PPP funds, you had to use the funds at least 75% for payroll and 25% for non-payroll expenses. That has changed to a 60-40 ratio. The law says that at least 60% must be used for payroll, and if you read the act carefully, a lot of people want more clarification on this, because according to the new law, the way it is written, you can interpret it as, if you don't use at least 60% for payroll, you won't apply for any type of forgiveness. So we're waiting on more guidance on that point. And now you can use up to 40% for the non-payroll expenses. Now, the non-payroll expenses that apply for forgiveness stay the same as the original law. You can use the 40% of non-payroll expenses for business mortgage interest, business rent, business lease, and utilities. Okay, those have not changed. Now, the law also gives more flexibility for forgiveness, even though you don't reach your employee or FTE amounts. If you remember original PPP law, in order to apply for forgiveness, for more forgiveness, you had to bring back the same number of employees as before. If you were not able to bring back the same number of employees, your forgiveness amount was affected. In this new law, it makes it more flexible so that your forgiveness is not affected due to the fact that you weren't able to bring back employees. But you still have to document that you tried to rehire employees but you were not able to, or you have to document that you weren't able to bring back employees because your business activity was not able to come back at the same level as before. Okay. Another change is that now if you receive the PPP funds, you have 10 months after the covered period to apply for forgiveness. This means that, let's say that you choose for the 24-week period. After the 24 weeks, you have 10 months to apply for forgiveness with your lender. So that's very good because it gives you time. Okay. Now I don't have it here, but another change is that in the original PPP program, once the 8 weeks were up, you had 6 months to start making payments towards your loan. Now that has changed. Basically, now it's saying that once your covered period is up, you have to go through the forgiveness process with your lender. Once the lender tells you your forgiveness amount, that's when you can start making payments. So basically, you have to wait till your lender tells you your forgiveness amount in order to start making payments on any unforgiven amount that has become a 5-year loan. Now, those are the changes, but once again, there are some senators that are trying to make even more changes. So that's why it's very important for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because any changes made, we will update and come out with new videos so you can keep current on any changes to the law. Rumors are that there are some senators trying to get any PPP loan under $150,000 to be considered grants. Basically, that it will be automatically forgiven in full. So let's see if they approve that. If they approve that, that'll be a lot of help, especially for people who got the funds in the second round of the PPP loans, because on average on the second round PPP loans are under $150,000. So this will help a lot of people. Okay. Also, they're trying the 40% of the funds that you can use for non-payroll expenses. They're trying to amplify that 40% that in order to be used in other types of expenses that can also apply for forgiveness. For example, under the law right now, that 40% of the funds that can be used for non-payroll expenses can be used again for mortgage interest, lease, rent, and utilities. They're trying to change it that 40% non-payroll expenses can be used for other expenses and still apply for forgiveness. Well, these are the changes, but we still have to wait for further guidance, and especially we still have to wait for the new forgiveness applications, because there are still a lot of questions and a lot of details, even though they made these changes. These changes are good, but there are some details that are still not clear. Now, this law was approved last Friday. Usually we've seen that it takes a week for the SBA to come out with new guidance. So we're expecting by this Friday to get the new guidance and the new application. Once those come down, we will explain them to you in another video. But the main questions are the following, especially for self-employed. Remember that the PPP program was available for self-employed. under the PPP loan, according to the last forgiveness application, self-employed compensation for 8 weeks was the amount that was going to be forgiven for self-employed as payroll, which is not actually payroll, it's owner compensation. So if you are self-employed and you got the PPP funds, in order to know your 8-week owner compensation, basically you took line 31 of your Schedule C, you divide it by 52 and multiply that by 8, and that is your 8 weeks of wages as a self-employed, and that was going to be automatically forgiven. We still don't know, because of the new rules, if that is going to change. Another thing that is still up in the air is that how would the SBA deal with the inflated PPP loan amounts that were given. A lot of banks make mistakes, and I can tell you that we have been helping a lot of business owners that have already received the PPP loans, and they want a consultation on how to spend it to maximize forgiveness. I can tell you that more than 50% of the consultations we've done, many business owners received a lot more than they were allowed to. So that we don't know how the SBA is going to deal with this inflated PPP loan amounts that were given. So basically we have to wait on further guidance. This is a good step. These changes are good. It's going to make this program a lot more flexible for business owners to maximize their forgiveness and be able to use the funds accordingly. Okay? If you need any help, if you need help applying for a PPP loan, we can help you. If you already have received the PPP loan and want our help in the loan forgiveness process, we can do that as well. This is our contact information. For those of you who don't know us, we are Freedom Group. We are a group of 4 companies. We have the tax accounting firm, immigration law firm, real estate program, insurance and financial advisory company as well. We have more than 20 years of experience. We have CPAs, attorneys in our office, so we can help you in many, many ways. Thank you for listening to this video. God bless you. We feel strongly and keep trusting in God that He is in control and that we have nothing to fear during this coronavirus. Once again, this is our contact information. I hope this video has brought value to you. Remember to subscribe to our channel, because once again, these laws are ever changing and you need to keep current, and any changes that are made, we will bring out new videos. Okay? Thank you. God bless.